What's up? What's up? Happy day. Had something pop through at some point during the night. Kind of an observation I was having with myself. And I'm not expecting a show of hands here, but how often do you have a conversation in your head where you might not have something quite down, you might not be experienced at it, you might not be very confident in it, you might, I don't know, or the situation seems a little tight or pressure packed, and the running conversation going through your head is don't screw up. Don't screw this up. Don't screw up. And when that goes into your head, how often is it that the first thing you do is instantaneously screw up? And, kind of like what I was talking about in pieces the other day about how things tend to snowball and, the anxiety and the fight or flight starts to take over, and then everything just kind of gets worse and worse and worse. So, all right, so where does that come from? How often have we heard that, as a kid or at work or, playing sports and the coach would say it, or, some of us, maybe a spouse or a significant other that rides our ass. And what happens is you hear it enough times that it gets wired into your programming. If you think of your mind like a computer, hey Rachel, good to see you. And you're putting in, you're putting some, putting a file onto your computer, you put in the USB, and it's all information that loads up, and it takes up a spot in there. And that's what happens with so much of the stuff that we, take in. And it doesn't even have to be childhood. It can be just all through everything kind of working up to today. And you get those messages. Don't screw up. Don't mess up. Don't fuck up. Oh my, and then you get in the head, oh my God, are you freaking, oh my, and then you remember, all the times when you were a kid. For me, it was, botching up ground balls at baseball practice. I feel, the other kids getting pissed off because I boot a couple in a row, and then all of a sudden you kind of feel that, and next thing you know, you're like, don't screw up, don't screw up, don't screw up, catch this one. Next thing you know, it goes off your glove and into the outfield. And it just snowballs and skyrockets, and oh my God, you're not feeling good afterwards. So the question is, how do we get past that? That doesn't mean not acknowledging that you've got stuff to learn in a particular skill or an area. It doesn't mean that you can't be open to feedback, even if some of it's not so pretty. But I guess it's eventually a matter of just learning how to tune out that voice and trying to find another one that kind of just stays in the moment. And while you're kind of slowing things down and observing what goes right and goes wrong in the moment and adding that into your programming and trying to remember, oh, I can do this or that. There's something to that, Rachel. If you don't know how to do it perfectly right from the beginning, then just don't do it. How many of us have gone down that road? I'm not expecting a show of hands. So it's a matter of learning when that voice is coming, when to catch it, and learn how to tune it out. To just take the moment as it is. Don't take it personal. Remember that you're not that particular thing you're trying to figure out how to do. Rachel, there's a reason why a lot of these lives, most of the time my audience is me. And, maybe somebody else picks something up along the way. This is example A. Also probably B and C. And then as you start to release that voice, the added stress and anxiety that comes from it, pardon me. Bless me. Thank me. I'm welcome. And okay, that makes sense. If they're better, then must not be doing it right. Okay. Let me rephrase that question just a little bit. If you see others that look like they have a skill and they're doing it better, is there anything that you can watch that you can learn from? Whether it works or doesn't work is irrelevant. Thanks. Just a thought that, comes through. And just if you really learn how to, instead of stressing out over it, learn how to be in a position where you're open to whatever comes from the moment. And accepting that if you screw it up, you're not going to die. Usually. 99.999 times out of 100. But instead of stressing, maybe you'll be open to learning a thing or two, or maybe it makes it easier to see a habit that you either need to pick up or need to get rid of. Or you might find like that little one piece that ups your game. Worst you can be is wrong, right? And so much of the time when somebody's on your case about screwing things up, it's the judgments that you just flew right into this, Rachel. It's the judgment that comes around it that's the thing. And ultimately, if somebody's judging you, it's because of what their issue is. Even if the point's valid. Like, even if you have somebody that you work with that, everybody has who they perceive as the office screw up. You get it everywhere. And it really doesn't have as much to do with what they're screwing up. If we're really being honest with ourselves, it's about how it makes the rest of us look, or the added responsibility that now we're going to have to pick up the slack and clean up after his crap. And I'll admit to that. And in the end, it's always been about what I didn't want to deal with, or what was not beneficial to me. Even if I put it in terms of everybody in the office, it really did come down to me. Just being honest. So, well, that's some food to I'm just reading this last comment. Okay. So, if you do that, all right, let me ask you this. What would you say if I decided right here, right now, that this is going to be the last live that I do. I'm going to take everything I have down off of YouTube. I'm going to burn every copy of my book that I have. I'm going to delete everything that I've written, everything I've put together. And I just said, screw this. Nobody wants to buy my shit. I'm done. I'm out. I'm just going to go get a job I don't want and live a life I don't want and just wait to die. Hey, Shannon, good to see you. Yeah, that was a transition. So I'm going to ask you that. How would you feel what would you say to me if I turned around and said that to you? Because I only know that because of having that thrown at my face 6 different ways from Sunday, where I would have a different mindset than what I would tell somebody else. And why is my advice good for somebody else, but not good for me to take? Again, most of why I'm here, because I'm just basically trying to teach myself. Exactly, Rachel. Of course you would object. That's why I put it out there exactly the way I did. Exactly, Rachel. So now pretend that Now pretend that I'm you. What's the difference? Why is that advice okay to give me, but not to take for yourself? You're just as gifted, just as worthy, just as talented as myself, possibly in different ways, but it's there. Don't you hate when people do that? I do too, but it's effective as hell when it happens to me, so just sharing what I learned. And with that out of the way, I gotta go and knock some things out and move on with the rest of my night. So y'all have a wonderful day, and we shall chat again soon. Take care.